Hey everybody, welcome back. Um, we did it. We did it. We got to 500 subscribers. Look at us go. Um, we we've come a lot a lot longer and a lot farther than I ever would have thought. Um, period. Just period. This has been kind of unreal. Um, thanks. 500 subscribers. I decided, hey, look, let's get a webcam. That's what all the cool kids are doing, right? So let's be like the cool kids. So I will tuck this little guy. Woo! I'll shrink up a little bit, and then I'll hop in right over here. The true epitome of get in where you fit in. Stick it about like that, about like that. There we go. So going forward, 500 subscribers and after most of my Twitch streams, I'll have a webcam up and probably a handful of YouTube videos as well. Appreciate you guys so very much. Um, Onward and upward. So, as has become a little bit of tradition here for um, for the 500 subscriber special, let's do a talent up and then let's analyze the roster. And I'll show you who I use the most and probably briefly touch on their setups that I use for them. Okay, let you know what it's like. You know, a day in the life of Slim Numbers normal gameplay. First off, from a speed tour, I now have a decent Attitude Era lady. She will have to come up. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. I got to work on her. So that may be part of the tail end of this, as I usually am. I'm running a little low on resources, and I've got a couple of things that I want to work on first. All right, so the first is going to be Miss Alexa Bliss. Time her out and move her on up. So as we're talking, or as I'm going through my talent up here, what's new in the game? What's any new news? They're getting rid of Hall of Fame tokens. Eh, the only problem with Hall of Fame tokens in the first place is that they were hard to get a hold of, limited availability. I don't know. Sure, maybe it does make sense to get rid of them. Um, it's going to for sure make talenting up those Hall of Fame characters a little bit easier. If you still have some that you're trying to take to a different rarity level that isn't already there, I don't really. My Hall of Fames are pretty good where they're at right now. The only tokens I really felt like I was light on was the old tokens, the bronze tokens, and I only felt like I was light on them because I just used those for cheap talent up, just like I think everybody else. So first one, here we go, 6-star gold, Trick Bliss. This does bolster my ladies trickster lineup pretty good, and I think I feel pretty comfortable with my trickster ladies in the first place. And I'm sure we'll talk about that here in a bit. So there's one. Let's see. The other one that I know I wanted to do was Boss Man. I don't know why I'm bringing Boss Man up, other than I can. it's it's really the end of that one. I'm sure I will find more uses for him now that I do have him at 6-star gold, but I'm not really holding my breath on it. Um, but variety is never bad. He is Attitude Era. I don't remember exactly what my men's powerhouse Attitude Era looks like. I remember it in the past being kind of weak, having to use um, Stevie Ray, who's keen it. And in fact, do we not talk about Stevie Ray as being one of the worst chase? Was he a chase character or was he a weekend character? I think he was a chase. You know, we talk about really terrible chase characters, and we're talking about like Thrasher. I personally think Rezar needs to be on there. Powerhouse Rezar is not. He's not it either, in my opinion. Stevie Ray was pretty bad. Am I using any shards here? I don't want to. Nah, nah, we're good. 6-star gold number 2. So far, we got one usable 6-star gold and one. I mean, he's usable. All right, who's 3? Miss McCool. I think she's just ready to rock, right? Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and bring her on up. Not using any shards that I necessarily care about. So that's perfect. We'll go ahead and now have a usable ruthless aggression lady. You guys have no idea how happy this makes me that I don't have to use the Super Stacy or Showboat Molly Holly. Ugh. All right, so there's 3. How far did that get me? That should have got me pretty far. I feel like this is not far enough. All right. I got somewhere with it. Okay, let's keep going. Is there anybody else 6-star silver that I wanted to work on? Oh, yes, actually there is. Where'd you go, my man? I've been wanting to do this for a while. Full disclosure, I don't know exactly why I want to do this. I'm still hoping that something shows up for this card and makes him just a little bit better. I don't feel like he needs much, but he needs something. He's close. He's got a couple of movesets that are adequate. He has his uses in the game. But I am hoping that a moment or something shows up that's obtainable that I can utilize with him. What else is new in the game? So Hall of Fame shards are gone, and then the hype system is coming. I'm excited. I am over the moon excited about it. And I think that actually might be a detriment for me because I am so absolutely excited for it and stoked for it. Um, I don't, I am absolutely somebody who can get prone to letting their imagination run away with them. And then when something comes out that's not everything that I'm hoping it to be, it makes it kind of diminishes it in my eyes. Um, I'm that type of person. So I have to make sure that I temper my expectations about the whole hype system. So they've talked about like offensive increases and defensive increases. What happened here? That's a new button. Offensive increases, defensive increases, of course. Um, womp womp. Kick out increases. So the kick out increases are going to be interesting. I still don't fully know how the mechanics of kickouts work. I haven't quite sat down and worked on it yet. But I will. It's coming eventually. That's one of those tasks. That's one of those things that I need to test. That's going to take a lot of time, and I got to figure out the right way of doing it. And for me, it's such a big project, at least in my head, that it's going to take me a long time to actually gather the resolve to be like, okay, all right, let's do this and let's finally get into it. And stuff like that is typically very difficult for me. If I don't have the motivation to do something, I just cannot do it. Um, yeah. So, but the inspiration for that will come, and then we will have, and I will get it all figured out. All right, I'm already out of black TP, so Austin will have to hang out for another month, and that's okay. But I know I need to stay away from black TP now. Do I have enough shards? Oh yeah, more than enough, right? Haven't looked into Devon yet, but again, era, era, and I know he's good enough. And no black, so he gets the gold treatment as well. And so it'll give me a good leg up on my talent up. Maybe we'll dig into the prize ball and grab some resources to help continue to make moves. So yeah, hype's coming. Offensive defensive kick out increases, and then kind of the speed mechanic or adjusting who goes first. And that's going to be kind of the biggest deal. I know other people have talked about it. Notably, Merrick's talked about like who's going first is going to be a huge deal. Um, and it is kind of one of the things I was thinking about when I started thinking about like who goes first. How does that adjust for one? You're going to have to weather the turn, and we AI can be AI can be relied on to co-pilot a a card build every once in a while, and sometimes it can't. So, do you roll the dice? You hope the AI can't really pilot that card very well. Do you set up specifically to counter the card and just sacrifice completely the ability to go to first? Um, maybe you do that. Maybe you sacrifice the ability to go first for other buffs and benefits. You know, um, yeah, sacrifice speed for other benefits. Can you make a true defensive juggernaut now and just punt going first? So you know what? Let everybody else go first. I've got a defensive juggernaut, right? And I can go turn two and be just fine. That will also adjust some builds, I think, right? No, no, it won't. It won't adjust any builds. Um, I was thinking about MP, but MP is probably just fine. Not just fine, but you won't need the +1 from Santa if you win second, is what I was thinking. But you actually will need the +1 from Santa going second. So there goes that idea. But you can still load up like defensively, and you know take your opponent's first turn basically to the face and hope to survive and go again. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Um, and then as a system to build on, that's where I'll let my imagination run away with me a little bit. Um, you know, could they introduce card XP? Could they introduce a full stat manipulation of a card, including individual gem damage, critical hit chance? I mean, if you can crank critical hit chance up, I mean, I've often called this game like a version of WWE Gotcha Diablo, right? If you can start adjusting crit chances and stuff like that, woo, now we're talking about getting real deep into it, and that's kind of interesting to me. Let's see, anything else worthy before I go into the graveyard and just start dumping resources. How far am I away? You're getting into those shards, so I got to be getting pretty close. 42 million. Let's find 42 million real fast. Shouldn't be too hard. Anybody close to a break point where I can let... what do you need? Do I have the tools here? Nope. Out of satellite dishes. Alright, so Trickster's off. I think... Ooh, I can still do this. Still have plenty of shards. Oh, I could probably work on Disciple too. Do I have enough coin? No. Alright, so let's do this instead. Let's go into the bag of tricks here. And see exactly what is available. That'll help. Let's do that. I might do that a couple times, actually. Is there a good focused way of getting TP other than this? There's not. Well, hold on. Let's look. There's not. Alright, so let's grab some TP. None of the colors that I need, but it's super cheap, so let's keep going. This is the majority of this little currency I get in the game goes to stuff like this. I go through so many resources doing dumb stuff that I need this in order to run talent ups or play the game, really. I only dip into this about twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month. And this may be a 3 times a month kind of deal. Because there's 3 talent ups. We'll see. All right. So let's go back to Zombie Sammy. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Still got a little bit left over. Still did not get enough of this. Well, maybe I did. Yeah, I got enough. Just enough, but I got enough. May have to go back to the prize wall to shore me up a little bit for the rest of it. So the hype system, I like I said, my imagination will run away with me, and I'll start thinking about like individually adjusting and making individual stat improvements through card XP and stuff like that. Maybe start looking at ways to introduce different benefits through card XP. Like, I don't know, you could probably put the Showdown Notoriety Promoter in underneath a card XP system or a card build system where you've got you create your own Showdown specialist. You know what I'm saying? I want you to keep your shards because I've got plenty of this other stuff. Yeah, I still have. Look at all that. We're good. Right. So you just kind of you build your own notoriety. Increases into one very specific card that you run in Showdown often, right? Or you build feud promoter, war score benefits inside the card itself, so you don't have to worry about promoter or any of that stuff. You make the card kind of stand on its own. That could be a very cool change and a quality of life improvement for a lot of people, right? Many of us are kind of theorizing that one of the reasons for this particular type of change is so it kind of eliminates the turn 1 win fest that the game is currently sitting at, and trying to get rid of that in some way. I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, to slow things down, so people are worried about showdowns taking 3 or 4 times longer than what they previously were because you can't T1 anymore. If you could build in like your feud cards with war score benefits, right? Like, so maybe it's Tori here, and she's got like right here is where you find your place to adjust all of her stats and whatnot. And you click in there, and you get a 25% extra war score just for using Tori, but you got to use some card XP and probably have it paywalled somewhere, and you build that into it. That could be cool, right? So maybe it's still 3 turns, but if you build your cards to be feud cards, um, you don't quite run as slow. Or the not you still run slow, but the rewards you get for it are significantly larger. Maybe something like that. Um, that could be cool. There's all sorts of different stuff. If they really are going to allow us to kind of to dive into a system to make every card truly unique, there's a lot of stuff they could do with it that would, in many ways, make some parts of the game, um, in order to streamline everything, they could make some parts of the game a little bit obsolete. But look at how much obsolete stuff is in the game already. Um, I'm sure if you click around into the giant menu system that the game has built up, you'll find 4 or 5 different either failed mechanics or stuff that doesn't work the way it's supposed to, or stuff that it just isn't worth it anymore. Um, things of that nature. And the game is full of that, full of it. So if the next evolution of building cards is the hype system accidentally breaks some of that, who cares? there's obsolete stuff everywhere. When was the last time you used a bleed immunity strap, right? Um, there's several heal, especially gym types that are very rarely used, if ever. I'm convinced that the only reason you throw a single heal gem as Viscera is so they had some way to make that one plate that only works basically on him run. Um, right? That heal gem doesn't really do anything for him. And there's no other real serious, off the top of my head, there's no real serious heal gem cards that I can think of. Hang on a second. This is killing me. Okay. So I don't know but that's again, that's why I'm trying not to get too hopeful because there is so much stuff like that that they could do. Class advantage, they could actually lean into class advantage a whole lot more than what they do. Class advantage now is nothing more than a system in the game that frustrates me when I'm calculating gem damage, right? And then all of a sudden I'm off by a large enough amount that I have to stop and think like, what's going on here? What did I miss? And I realize, oh, it's stupid class advantage. Cool. Yay. Awesome. And it only works, class advantage only works one way. Nobody's debuffed by um, class advantage being in a weird spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't know. I should have checked. Yeah, I've got enough. And hopefully I have enough of this because I should check that too. Yeah, I should be okay. Um, but I am excited about it. I really do think it's going to make the game a little bit more interesting. Um, it's going to be one of those things where you have to pay a little bit of attention to it. And sometimes I think that can be very difficult, to say the least. How many of you guys got caught up in the most recent showdown competition sleeping on a reversal that you forgot about, or you didn't check the trainers and got hit with some MP down stuff that cost you the W? I know it happened to me a lot. I started playing real fast. I panicked at the end, and had a couple of matches not go my way because I was being an idiot about it. Um, Shame on me. 1.5 million. How many do I get per coin? 1.1. All right. All right. So in order to do this, I need to spend 100 million coin. 100 and a half. All right. Let's do 100 and a half real quick. There's somebody in my basement. I'm sure I can just dump a ton of coin into. Oh yeah, this guy. So close. Yeah, no, it's gonna wipe me out. So we'll dump some coin into Ozzy here. I don't really want to dump any coin in any of these other guys. Chelsea maybe. Naka. I need a Legends era trickster. Absolutely need that, and that'll be enough to get there. Let's do it. So let's see what I get in the chest of disappointment, and then we'll go over a brief of who do I actually use. And that'll be pretty fun, I think. I haven't opened a good chest of disappointment in I don't know how long. Oh my god, I don't want you. Okay, fine. What is this? Trash. Okay, fine. We'll take that. This is trash. Both of these are armor. Blech. Who are you? Fine. Okay. Okay. Give me my. Yeah, thank you. What are you? Okay, fine. At least you stick around. And then these are just. Yep. Alright, well, that's talent up. So let's take a look. Let's see if anything has changed since 250 subscribers. I'm sure it has. So on the men's side of thing, I'm not going to. Well, I will sort it out by class. Over here in Striker, I've gotten really lazy. I run Yeet for 95% of 75% of everything. Right, and I've got him set up with the Royal Rumble plate, so he's slow. It is what it is. I don't have his gear, running with Fury 3s, and I run him in the 3-click setup because it allows me to be more flexible in feud. I know I could run in, 2 blue MP and just go click, click and probably win. This allows me to run this way and free up a blue trainer for somewhere else. It's still, I don't mind 3 clicks instead of 2. Ron is no longer my workhorse. He's starting to really annoy me with his cascadiness. He's fun for when I need power gems, but the majority of my men's striker is right here at Yeet, and it's not even particularly close. Second actually might be Dom. I use Dom a little bit more than the rest of them. In specific scenarios, I'll run Rabbit, but that's pretty much it for strikers. As for upcoming project with strikers, it'll be Austin, it'll be Zombie Sammy, probably Zombie Sammy over Austin. And then I just remembered at this moment that one of the things I wanted to do with his talent up is Ali, who is my forever project. And I actually had the ability to get him silver and saw Sammy first. And Sammy's the better play, in my opinion. I still don't have his gear, so he's not a main show, a main focus. As always, he's not a main focus. Disciple will be a project, but he's a very low importance project for me. So that's striker class, and then Wolfman. Wolfman will be a project for me, and he will probably leapfrog Sammy. Although Sammy's really close, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Over here in Powerhouse, it's still Hogan. I've got his gear. There's no reason not to. I run him the 2-click ways, scoop slam, and axe bomber. Hulking up is there in case for some reason I feel like I need it. I almost never do. It's scoop slam, axe bomber, running yellow MP, um, yellow gym damage, and then rainbow gym damage when I can. And then this is there for the generate, and red is his primary color. And I do run a rumble plate on him. I have to run, I got to run with the crutches here. But it works. It works just fine. I don't have the Ali moment, but I've got the gear. And that's more than enough.
Here. I made this for you.
My son has made me a sticker that I feel like I need to wear. Hello.
Just to know it's you.
I'm Slim Numbers. I probably should have opened with that. Hey, I'm Slim Numbers. How we doing? Whoa! All right. That's awesome. Thank you, buddy. All right. Elsewhere in Men's Powerhouse, I do mess with Zombie Punk a little bit. I do mess with Raphael when I need a new gen. That's about it. Viscera is getting a little bit of work from me. I do not use McDonut very often. Unfortunately, I don't use him very often anymore. Boss Man I just took up. I probably will not be using him. Yeah, that's about it. Boss Breaker, or Blue Boss is where I get any value out of McDonough because I don't have Zombie Ray's gear. If I had Zombie Ray's gear, he'd still be the number one guy I use. As far as projects for Powerhouse, I'm kind of out of projects for Powerhouse. I could throw some coin into him and make him good. He's probably it. But he annoys me on emulators, so I never use him when I'm sitting behind a computer. He will be worked up throughout the rest of this competition. And when I finally do get him worked up, we'll start talking about the moment. And that's about it. Yeah, no real projects here. Tricksters. My main trickster is either Swoggle or Donatello. Depending on what I need them for. Swoggle, I do use triple blue, and it's just traps submission. Sometimes I hit the Leprechaun bomb. Hang on. All right. So I use Swoggle and then Donatello are my two main ones here. And then, actually, I take it back. These are my two main ones. I use him all the time. I run him with a 2-click setup, just 2 greens. And Roxy, or whatever, plus 4 green MP I need. That's pretty much it. That gets you started. The Cena moment helps a little bit, but this setup does just fine for me. I even have takedown 3s on him because I don't really care about the gym damage. I just care about the gym defense. And he's my number one guy to put in the showdown defense spot 2. As far as projects over here, I know he's supposed to be. Maybe I'll wait till I get rid of Hall of Fame tokens. You know what I'm saying? Macho is supposed to be. I'll probably end up working on him over Macho. Maybe both. Nakamura's got to be, and he's going to take priority over these two because I have no good Legends era tricksters. And I'm not even sure if I'm convinced that he's a good one, so to speak, but he's one that I'm going to need. He's the best I've got. And sometimes it's okay to build the best available. If you know it can do a little bit of work, it's better than having nothing. And then nothing in my graveyard that I'm too awful interested in. Acros, it's just Jacob. Maybe now with the moment I'll get some more value out of Macho Man because I know he's pretty good, but it's really Jacob. I do use this Seth quite a lot. I'll have to do some exploring with Devon here, and then wrong Cena. I will eventually get shiny Cena up. I am shard locked like crazy. And I have him and Lyra that I need to build out of the same group of shards. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get more value out of, and I think I might actually. Initially, it was Lyra, but I might have changed my mind just on his training ability alone, just for showdown defense. I will have a video coming out, I think, on how to best navigate the new showdown bracket system now that defense actually matters, and thinking about going into battles and who's got what trainers and doing what stuff and the showdown buffs and blah blah blah. So I probably will start talking about that, and we'll have a video about that. Through here, no real targets or projects or anything to speak of. Um, maybe Hall of Fame, or not Hall of Fame, but Acro Austin, maybe just to have somebody to work on as an Acro. Showboat, I'm kind of in the same situation. Gunther is my go-to, and then I've got Vader as well, who's beast, and Kofi, who I like a whole lot, and then Hall of Fame Goldberg, who I like a whole lot. I really just kind of bounce between Gunther, Vader, and Goldberg depending on what I need. And then the rest of this stuff is just specialty stuff. He's red, multiply stuff, green stuff. Him, I built him in advance of getting the moment so I can make him to a one click. Um, as far as projects, probably Apollo, just because it's Apollo Creed. No other reason than I like Apollo Creed. Who doesn't like the Rocky movies? If you don't like the Rocky movies, you're probably un-American. I hate to say it. Uh, Forever Project, I'll build him up. Why not? I need to build him up for his training ability anyway. Right. So he'll go to gold. And then no other projects here. I'll probably turn Seamus into a project because I have him 6-star silver already. And I've got his moment. I don't know anything about the card. I haven't done any research on it, so he's got to be halfway decent. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. Technician, I used Hip Hop Cena. I will use Julius Mercy Shredder when needs meet, but I mean, this is my workhorse for just about everything. This is my showdown guy. This is my tours guy. This is my blitz guy. Um, he doesn't need an MP trainer. He sidesteps everything except for MP increase and move damage counters. Right, he will almost always do enough damage to take down an opponent. I'm loaded up with just green move damage and finisher move damage here. Same thing with his strap, 100% takedown threes, and then a full takedown medal. Like he is just set up to absolutely wreck shop. Um, so I use him more than just about everybody else through here. I will use Miz from time to time, but it's Hip Hop Cena for me. He's the most used card on my roster currently. He melts through things. As far as projects, I don't have any. I don't think in tech. Um, None that spring immediately to mind. Yeah, tech. I'm pretty good on tech. Punk eventually, I guess, is the Punk and Steiner will eventually be projects just because I need them worked up for events where I need Punk and Zombie Punk won't work, and I don't have Acro Punk. All right. So if we go into the women's side, I have most of the women's. Striker, usually it's usually Naomi because I have her gear. So I just run the 2-click green. I barely even use the moonsault or even touch the botch gym side of things because her gear is so beneficial to her green gym damage. So I just run her 2-click. Um, and then every once in a while, I'll get a hanker and I'll use Queen Naya. I used Sonya some this weekend. She can still be effective. Zombie Bailey can still be effective with the right setups. And Striker Liv can be effective. But these two are my main. I don't have any projects in Striker Women's that I'm looking forward to building. her for her coaching ability, but once that's maxed, that's about it. Powerhouse, it's just Abby the Witch. Everybody else, I'm pretty out on. I will continue to work Bull because, but just because. I mean, there's no need. She's fine. I mean, she does the trick. She's great. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. She can win. Meh on the rest of it. Trickster, I'm set. Live rules. So does Trick Bliss. Cora Jade can win in takes her a little bit of time. She gets huge. This Rhea is nasty. She's gnarly, man. She absolutely gets it done. So my live, I do run just 2-click red. I have the punk gauntlets on her. More than enough. All right. Rhea, I've got set up as the glass cannon. It doesn't necessarily recycle all that great, but usually doesn't need to. The new plates that are out are really going to help her out as well. I do run with the Heart of Jade. Cool. I will probably bring this Stacy up. All right, Acros still waiting for a gear, so my mains are still. I'd probably bring this Chelsea up too. My mains are still Acro, Rhea, and Carrie. Carrie Sane here. Jade does perfectly fine work, um, and so she's kind of interchangeable depending on what I need. And then Lyra is just waiting on shards. I'm not sure if I'll bring this Bianca up anymore. Probably because it's my only Bianca that's any good. And then no other targets for projects down through here. This just kind of is what it is. Showboat ladies, I'm fine. I use her for most of my ladies tasks, period. And then sometimes Maxine McCool, I just brought up 6-star, so unknown how much I'm going to use her. I'm kind of over Charlotte by this point. No other projects to work on down through here, really. Tech, actually, I lean into Tech Morgan a lot. I have to run a triple yellow with the Piper plate and then the Maze Crown, Fury 3s. I need a better strap for. Running this entourage, so yellow, yellow to make sure I start loaded. So it's 10. So I even run Santa and then I run yellow gem damage. You could use rainbow gem damage if you wanted to. Stunning Steve's probably a better option here, to be honest with you. And then the moment helps out. Gems do 50% more damage. I am perfectly fine with this, and I like this gameplay better than I like Molly, Charlotte, or May, even though all three of these ladies are perfectly acceptable and will hit. Liv, though, has been my go-to for quite some time. As far as projects, probably this Oscar. That's about it. Don't have a lot of. The problem with my ladies roster is once I get one that I'm interested in, I usually skyrocket it, and then I have nothing left to work on. What do I got here? Anything good? None of it. Cool. So that's it, guys. We've made it to 500 subs. Next stop's 750. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there. I'm constantly surprised about how fast these milestones are ticking away. At this point, it's July. I started this channel in September, I believe. It would not surprise me to see us get to 750 by September. Maybe more than that. Who knows? As always, guys, if you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, and I'll talk to you next time.